Good morning, everyone. We are the Group 2 and today we will be discussing about circle graphs. But before anything else, let's first go to our objectives. First, learn the history of circle graph. Second, know the purpose of circle graph. Third, define circle graph. Fourth, to be able to draw a circle graph by calculating the degrees for each sector using set of given data. Lastly, to be able to calculate the percentage for each sector from a set of given data.
The pie chart has been around for over 200 years. It was first invented in 1801 by Scottish writer on political economy William Playfair, nowadays known as the inventor of statistical graphs. Seeking to illustrate the Turkish Empire's land holdings for his statistical breviary on the European nation-states, Playfair sliced the circle into three wedges, whose sizes were determined by land area. The pie is split into segments where the angle is proportional to the data item represented. Each segment is colored, although today colors used tend to be far more vibrant.
It has been said that Florence Nightingale invented the pie chart, though in fact she just popularized it and she was later assumed to have created it due to the obscurity of Playfair's creation. The invention was almost forgotten until 1858 when a French civil engineer Charles Joseph Menard created a divided circle map showing the amounts and portions of butcher's meat supplied to the Paris market. As the time went by, pie charts experienced many adaptations and transformations and ended up converted into things like donut charts, exploded pie charts, polar area diagrams, multi-level pie charts, and 3D pie cakes. However, still the most common use is a simple pie chart as depicted in these early examples.
The purpose of circle graph. Circle graph is a 360-degree circle which is equivalent to 100% that can be divided in two sectors that will represent each part of a whole. A circle graph, or known as a pie chart, the purpose of this is to use it for visualizing information in data. A circle graph is usually used to easily show the result of an investigation in a proportional manner. The arcs of a circle graph are proportional to how many percent of population gave a certain answer.
A circle graph is a visual representation of data made by dividing a circle into sectors that each represent parts of a whole. There are some different types of circle graphs. Circle graph, this is the basic. Exploded circle graph, the sections are exploded out. This is done to show details of smaller sections or to highlight one section. 3D circle graph, often used for aesthetic reasons. This three-dimensional circle graph often makes the data more difficult to interpret.
Now, let's move on to example problems of circle graphs. First example. The table below shows how Kara spends each part of her earnings. Construct a circle graph to visually display this data. So Kara's budget is divided into rent 50%, food 20%, clothing 15%, entertainment 10%, and others 5%.
Solution for example 1. Step 1. Adding all the expenses together, we get 50% plus 20% plus 15% plus 10% plus 5% equals 100%. The total value for all items is 100%. Step 2. Every circle is made up of 360 degrees. To find the angle measure for each item, use this formula. Angle measure for an item equals percent the item represents times 360 degrees. That we have rent 50%, 0.50 in decimal and 180 degrees. For food 20%, 0.20 in decimal and 72 degrees. For clothing 15%, 0.16 in decimal and 54 degrees. For entertainment 10%, 0.10 in decimal and 36 degrees. Others 5%, 0.05 in decimal and 18 degrees. For a total of 100%, 1 in decimal and 360 degrees. So here is the example of Kara's budget circle graph, example 1.
Problem number 2. A clothing merchant has 5 different types of clothing pieces. Draw a circle graph to represent the numbers of pieces in each type of clothing that is shown in the table below. The different types of clothing are skirts, which have 380 pieces, sleeves with 250 pieces, dresses with 875 pieces, shirts with 450 pieces, and pants with 445 pieces.
In this problem, we need to draw a pie graph that represents 5 different types of clothing pieces. First, we need to find the total frequency data of the given. So, we add 380 plus 250 plus 875 plus 450 plus 445 is equivalent to 2400, which would be our total frequency. Next, we need to find its angle of sector. The formula for this is angle of sector is equivalent to frequency data divided by total frequency, which is 2400 times 360 degrees, which is equivalent to one full rotation of a circle. So, based on the given, the skirts which have 380 pieces divided by 2400 times 360 degrees is equivalent to 57 degrees, so on and so forth. The total of the angle of sectors must be exactly 360 degrees. Next, we have to find its corresponding percentage to be the basis of the circle graph. The formula for this is percentage is equivalent to frequency data divided by total frequency times 100%. Skirts, which have a frequency data of 380 pieces divided by 2400 times 100% is equivalent to 15.83%, so on and so forth. The total percentage must be equivalent to 100. Next, in plotting for the circle graph, we have to base it on its corresponding percentage. So, we have the following output.
Problem number 3. If we ask 100 persons which TV program they like the most, we get these results from K-drama series to persons who like it.
So from the 100 people, here are the ratio for each drama series. Let's take Eternal Monarch for example, which has 8/100 and following the corresponding decimal in percentage. And to equally divide the circle graph, let's find the degrees by multiplying it by 360 degrees, which is the circumference of a circle. Let's take Eternal Monarch, which has 800ths times 360 degrees is equal to 28 and 8/10 degrees.